Hello everyone and welcome back to a long-awaited episode of the NASCAR iRacing series. I haven't done Sonoma and I haven't done Chicagoland due to various reasons. Sonoma's all on me. I didn't want to do Sonoma. If you guys have been on iRacing, Sonoma's fixed setup and the way the track is, it's not realistic at all. It's way harder than what real life actually is, and I wasn't enjoying it at the moment, so I decided just to skip that for now. I think it's coming up in the North League though soon, so maybe I'll try it there. And then Chicagoland had a whole different other circumstance. I wanted to do it, and then recording things happened, and it didn't work out. So I didn't do well anyways. I wanted to start at the back and try to pass people, and then I basically didn't pit, so that's the biggest problem. But those two are out of the way. We're finally here at Daytona. Qualifying lap, we get put on the pole. Some people wanted to know how I always qualify on pole at Daytona and Talladega. I don't know. I just do it. You just hold the line on the bottom, and that's how you do it. So I don't know. It's tough to explain. But green flag is out here at Daytona, a place that I will probably be at as I'm making this video. If this is going up on Thursday, I'm going to be at Daytona on Friday. So it's going to be very close to that. We have two friends in here. We have Daniel Fuckingham, who's been in a lot of the races that we've been in. And Anthony Emery, who has been in the North League. So Anthony is going to try and help us as well. So you can see here the aero package with the A-class car, the Cup car, at the restrictor plates right now is just not good. It just creates single-file racing, and the main reason is because you can't suck up to anyone. The car actually, it just pushes you away if you're trying to get to the back bumper of someone. The bottom lane is very dominant, so this is what you're seeing. Those two cars on the top, they just can't get hooked up. That second place car on the top lane is, unless that the lead cars can drag his brakes, it's just not going to happen. But you'll see later on in this video that the aero package, even though it doesn't create the best of racing, does create some pretty good, exciting stuff. So caution comes out, and let's see what the caution was for. And this is going to involve one of our little friends here, basically our teammates in this race, Daniel, in that notorious paint scheme that he always runs. And you'll see here coming into turn one, this looks like maybe some netcode, something happened there, and that car got turned straight into the outside wall, and a couple other guys, one car barely got through that. My goodness. Let's ride along with that one car that I saw there. This is very interesting how this dude gets through that. He has to have gotten damage or netcode through that, because you can't really do that. So this is something really interesting. Look at my my throttle and clutch and brake input right at the left of the screen. You can see here, for the first time I'm ever doing this, I'm pushing in the clutch, and the RPMs get shut down to 1200, and we're basically just coasting to save fuel. And the reason why we're doing this, because I didn't think I could go 40 laps on fuel that beginning run, and the race is only 80 laps, so we want to stay out for this caution, keep the track position, but still be able to make it on just one stop. So I'm shoving the clutch in, driving past the pace car, and just letting it coast, and that's what I'm doing. You'll see here that only 4 cars stayed out. Everyone else pitted. Anthony was another car that stayed out. What we're doing is we're just pushing the clutch in and keeping our track position. So now we're riding along with Anthony, who's in the 3rd place spot, and we could use some teamwork here to count down the restart. I was counting it down through the team speak, and this is absolutely perfect. He gets right on my bumper coming to the start finish line. And you could see there that we clear 2nd place, and 2nd place falls into line, and he gets in the 3rd. And the reason why that's important is because he private messaged us and said, are we pitting on lap 41 if there's no caution? So we have a couple of cars, not a lot, but a couple of us are on the same strategy. We're going to pit and break this up halfway if we can make it on fuel. So you're seeing here at the bottom right of the screen, we're just trying to estimate right now, even though nothing's really happening because we're kind of running in a line. There's a few cars on the outside trying to make a gap, but they're not really going to be able to do anything. We move ahead of lap 23, and we're just, again, just crunching numbers, really. So it's not a lot of entertainment to show necessarily in the video, but if you were listening to the TeamSpeak, which I can't really, show you everything that was been talked about in the TeamSpeak, we were crunching numbers. How many gallons does 3 laps of fuel take? And what happens? Can we make this lap? Can we get to lap 45? Can we get to lap 40? Can we make it to the end? And this was all while we were driving here, and just Emery and I were 1-2, just trying to control the race. You can see here we go up to lap 41. We've gone past that halfway point. We still have a few laps remaining, and just to play it safe, because of those caution laps, we probably saved a couple of laps there, but because of those caution laps, we have to push it as far as possible to see if we can make it on fuel. Lap 43 was our number. Lap 43 is when we will come down pit road. More guys than expected come down with us, and let's just not speed here, entering pit road. I seem to do that sometimes. And perfecto, nice and safe, side by side with Anthony, as you see on the bottom left of the screen. And we're going to come into our pit stall. Do not overshoot the pit stall. I did that before here at Daytona, I think, and I screwed myself. So do not overshoot the pit stall. Here we come, nice and easy on the brakes, and perfect. We are in the pit stall, 4 tires and fuel, and we should be out. Probably not first, because the first pit stall is not the best on green flag pit stops, but hopefully we'll be out right behind Emery, and let's see what happens here. So the pit stall is coming through, and that's weird. As you can see, there's Emery passing us right now, and the other cars somehow jumped us, and this is a problem because we're losing our track position. Now we have to come out of pit road and try to catch up. We can't lose the draft, so we have to push it as hard as we can here without crossing that yellow line, or else we're going to get a black flag. So push it as hard as we can, and we did a pretty good job right there to push it really hard, get a nice run coming out of there, and we'll stay with the pack. But basically what happened here is me and Anthony did not know that on the new build of iRacing, the new update, that basically fuel only is a little bit less than 4 tires and fuel. We thought that even if you took 4 tires, because we had to fill it all the way up, that it would be the same time. These guys obviously have experience in front of us, and they knew that if you just took fuel only, it would save you about a second. So they were able to hop over us, and that's really unfortunate, because now that's 5 guys that is in front of me and Emery, and it's really hard to pass, and we don't know if we can make it to the end on fuel. Now we have the leaders behind us as well. Those leaders who are behind us did not pit, and they pitted on the previous caution. So they're just kind of towing along with us until they have to pit, which is this is lap 57 with 23 to go. They come down pit road, and now it's their turn to see if they can then leapfrog us. And the reason why they probably will be ahead of us is because they only have to take less fuel. They probably have to take a couple gallons less and get out quicker. Now here's the thing. When they came out of pit road, you can see here that they are not together. That lead car is about a second and a half ahead of second, and the guys behind them, look at how spread out everyone is. And there's our pack. There we are, that group of about 6 or 7 cars just steaming along, and everyone on the bottom who pitted on that last caution, even though they took less fuel, they are all separated. Look at how separated all of them are, and we're just going to go straight past all of them, including the leader that was right on my bumper, and he took less fuel and probably took no tires, but because he had absolutely no help coming out of pit road, we're going to be able to fly straight past them. And now it's going to be only a 7-car battle between this pack, because those guys, with how separated they are, they will not be able to catch us unless a caution comes out. So now we move ahead to lap 64, and this is where it's going to get really difficult. Remember that aero package I was talking about, how it's really difficult to pass with this car, just with the way the draft package is. So we're trying to get the 15 to go up high, and he does. But the problem is Emery cannot get to the 15. The 15's probably not dragging his brakes. Emery's trying to drag his brakes to get me onto his bumper. But the way the draft package works in iRacing, it just continuously pushes you away, and you just can't get hooked up unless you continuously drag the brake. So once I realized that, I'm trying to get a run by going to the inside and then hopping up to Anthony, but I just misjudge it. I instead get underneath Anthony. So at that point, we have to try something different, and what we're going to do is going to try just to get clear of the 15 and get up to the 25. That 25 car we have a pretty good relationship with from in the beginning of the race with pit strategy. So what we're going to do here, and it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but right now I'm just touching the brake just a little bit, just tapping the brake a little bit to keep the 15 to the outside lane. I know it's pretty suckish because we wanted him to go out there, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I dragged the brake to get Anthony onto my rear bumper. Now the 25, we couldn't communicate with him, but the 25 knew exactly what we were doing, and he starts dragging his brake. That's the only reason I'm pulling up to his back bumper right now. And we know that, so we're gonna try us 3 to go around those 3 in the front. There's 3 cars in front of the 25, and then it's the 25, me, and Anthony. That's how we're gonna have to do it. So we get a good run coming out of turn 2. The 25 peaks out high. The 3 car in front of him is looking out high. And then the 25 is going to go low. We are going to go with him. And the 3 car gets left hung out to dry. Now Anthony is about 2 car lengths behind, and we need him to be in this line. So what I'm going to do here, again, look at my little gear thing, my throttle, my brake ratio. I am tapping the brake. I'm just continuously tapping it, just dragging it just a little bit to get Anthony to my back bumper, keep the 3 car in the outside lane, and that way we keep Anthony with us. And now it's going to be 3 on 2, because that 3 car is not going to be able to keep on the back of the draft, and now it's only a 5 car pack. So 3 on 2, we just have to get a good run, a solid run coming out of one of these corners and move up to the high side and try to drag the brake. And now let's see if we could do it. So the 25 goes up to the high lane, and we're trying to get to him, but the thing is the 25 is not dragging his brake right now. He dragged his brake to get me on the bumper to give him the run, but he's not dragging it right now, and that's the problem. The only way for it to work is you have to continuously drag the brake. Every time that car behind you just gets a little bit off, you drag the brake and get him back on. And you can see here, I could just never get to his back bumper. If the 25 could have side drafted maybe just a little bit harder, as you can see here, but I can never get to his bumper. He had to side draft and drag the brake at the same time, and unfortunately wasn't really working out. Anthony behind, you can see Anthony's now losing the draft, and I can't really drag the brake because I have to try to help the 25. So what's happening is we're losing our help in the 13 of Anthony Emery, so I try dragging to catch him, but then once I realize he's gone, there's no way we're going to be able to get him back, I tell the 25 over the radio to come back here, and it kind of actually worked out here. So what we're going to do, we only have 5 laps to go, but there's a couple of lap cars in front of this little battle, and it's going to hold up the leaders just a little bit, and I told the 25, no matter what, keep dragging your brake, keep me on your bumper. And that's what he's doing. You can see the 2 leaders on the bottom lane up there. We're going to start getting this massive run because we're going to get that massive pull. And there they are. Now they're on the top side going around 2 lap cars. And here we are. Me and the 25 are hooked up. Lap cars in the way. But we have to maybe get around them. And the 25 has nowhere to go. So he has to go back to the bottom. And it kind of breaks up our run. But we're still in a good position. We have a lap car in the middle. But it's all right. You know, we could still get a decent enough run. And then just maybe side draft. Of course. You know, it was a fun race. It was a good race, but coming to 4 laps to go, the caution comes out and the race is over. I don't know why the race is over, but we'll check it out. This was the big pack behind us. This was the pack that pitted on lap 55 and was probably a couple, maybe 15 seconds behind. And this is what the caution was for. The 15 who was in that pack and then lost it decides to block a really fast incoming pack, which I don't understand. That wasn't the caution. That car hitting the wall was not a caution. The caution comes here down the back straightaway where he's continuously trying to block, and then looks like there's contact between him and the 10, and that sends the 15 around. And the 10 car does a great job of not actually wrecking, and he's able to stay and finish, I think, in 5th. Now this is what doesn't make sense as to why you're trying to block that. You can't. You're not supposed to. You don't even have a good enough momentum to block that. That's too much of a run to block. So damage that guy's race, and then looks like here he's trying to side draft maybe or something, and then that doesn't work out. That shouldn't do that. That's not what you should do. That's pretty poor driving from the 15. You just can't block that. You just have to let them go. And that ends the race. We finish in P4 in our return to NIS, which I guess I'll be happy with, but we should have won the race. If we knew about the no tires thing, if we just took fuel only, I don't think we would have lost track position. I think maybe I would have been behind Anthony and be in second because that first pit stall is not the best for green flag pit stops, but we would have been 1-2 most likely. And unfortunately, we weren't, and that's how it works, I guess. Take that into the memory bank, learn for next time, and hopefully do better next time around. But Anthony finishes 5th, I finished 4th, and that's pretty good for our return to NIS. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I know it wasn't super entertaining, but it was a fun race strategically. Like, it was really fun to see if we could crunch the numbers and drag the brakes and try to pass people that way. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a fantastic day and having a good weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.